Yeah, and so they're carpooling, busing people to Austin to get people from all over Texas to go to the Capitol building and have a walk for choice. So that's something that you can do that is actually out in the street sort of thing, but also calling representatives. And even if you think they don't listen, it doesn't matter. Just keep calling, you know what I mean? I wrote Ron Paul and got this automated email being like, well, we disagree on the issue of the board. You know what I mean? But I'm like, that's cool. But I'm going to keep writing you.
It's pressure.
Right, I'm going to keep writing.
Politicians particularly, every phone call is
tracked.
Very important. And email, I assume.
I think what a good idea is...
Chain emails are not.
To send, not chain email necessarily, but I know what I've done before is in my sent box, I'll send one time to a certain representative, some political figure, a certain email on something, and then every day I just resend it. Every time I go to my email, just resend it. It doesn't take a lot of effort. Right.
Yeah. So stuff like that is good.
That's a good point.
Yeah. And also just being informed, you know what I mean? So this sort of stuff, at first, remember I started reading the bills, I was like, I don't understand what any of this is saying. But if you go, there's, what is it, texasledge.gov or
Well, I read the straight bill, though.
Yeah, and then there's NARAL Texas, so it's NARAL,
Pro-choice.
Texas.org.
Well, there's Pro-Choice Texas. That's one I went to that took me straight to NARAL.
Right, and so and the good thing with that is even though it is a pro-choice organization, they do a list. So they say legislation to watch, that sort of thing, when it's going through.
That's what I printed up. I've got pro-choice.
They do that on the Texas Legislature website too. They have it. They have the exact. And I really prefer going to sites like this where you're getting the direct source. So that's what I do. That's exactly where I go. And they have it when they have the House bill that'll go through, and then the Senate bill, and then any changes that are made, and they'll have an Adobe format, HTML, any way you could possibly get it. So I mean, that's always a good way to get your sources. Yeah, and I don't know, you had a difficult time reading them, but, once you pass the first part where they're describing the definitions and the jargon, then it can be very clear, I think. I mean, I read it to you, some of the parts to you earlier. I mean,
it can seem because, I didn't study politics at all in undergrad. I don't have any political science background or anything. So it's sort of that self-education of understanding the process of the House and the Senate and all that sort of stuff. That can be...
But it's usually the people who, like us, who are having to fight for something that dig and try to find these things out. People who wouldn't even consider the choice of abortion are the ones that would be voting against abortion. And that's what's sad. They don't want to educate themselves because they've made up their mind. They don't want to know the process for everything. They're going to cast their vote because of their beliefs, and they're not going to try to be empathetic to what other people would want. That's the sad part. That's what bothers me is that
I don't know if I agree with that.
Maybe that's just my experience with all the people that I know. They don't want to be educated.
Seems very
anyway. Well organized.
Yeah. Okay.
Have you done anything to UNCL? Is there any movement through schools, colleges, universities?
Well, actually, you're trying to.
Okay, so here's the thing. Well, yeah. So I'm the Houston student organizer for NARAL Texas because their chapter is in Austin because it's where the capital is. But so I'm involved with that and doing petition signing here and stuff. But now, I guess because I'm the president of WSSA for the fall and Rachel is the VP, I was told that I have to be careful of pushing a pro-choice agenda on campus, and so I can't have
Why?
So,
because
I don't really know.
What do you mean?
I was told by other people in previous
authority positions
in
Previous
the organization
officers?
to be careful having it seem like all WSSA does is reproductive justice. But that's my passion, and that's my passion. But,
and we also discussed in that same meeting that even though it's the Women's Studies Student Association, you don't have to be necessarily associated with women's studies
which is
in
true.
Classes. It's
And,
it's the whole because we're technically a feminist organization, but when you associate the word feminist with the negative connotations, and then you try to make it a pro-choice kind of.
And so that and especially obviously, and I was also by the program director of NARAL Texas. She said it might be easier just to do on the ground sort of petition than trying to go through the bureaucracy and create a pro-choice organization because most campuses have experienced a lot of administrative pushback on organizations like that. And so I obviously want to do reproductive justice events and all this stuff with WSSA.
Right.
But I was advise to be careful, I guess, doing that. Because I guess not everyone that would attend WSSA would identify as pro-choice, which is totally fine, obviously.
I mean, but
But-
also you have meat eaters and vegetarians in
Yeah.
the meeting, right?
Right.
And then
You have no chili cook-off.
Right. So that's how, I mean, yeah.
The idea is it can be a forum. It can be a forum for dialogue.
Bring in
Certainly
some
feel free to do
bells.
that.
That's perfect
Yeah.
discussion.
And- right.
I mean, you have to be one way or the other.
And we had this discussion in our class about Bell Hooks argues that you cannot be feminist and be anti-choice, which I agree with, and we had people in class that did not agree, which is fine, but I would say that someone who identifies as a feminist, if you're trying to take rights away from women,
That doesn't,
you
how
can't claim that title.
You
Like,
don't have to be a feminist. It's about human rights.
Yeah, and that's true.
yes,
right,
I identify as a feminist. I don't have to label myself. I
Right.
think it's a human right.
right, right.
So let us take this very exciting conversation into the corridors.
Yeah, I know, we have to.
And then give room for Nadia and Ruth to start as well.
Are you going to sum up or?
Yeah,
Oh.
I'll sum it up.
some
All right.
That's how you make it.
Yeah, it's a very important topic that we talk about, I think, daily amongst ourselves. And I think what we've kind of presented here are facts about what's going on in Texas right now, and about, I think it brings to light, brings to surface the need for grassroots activism on the part of wherever you stand, and that we need more representation
for both sides.
for both sides
Well,
in government, especially on the female side right now.
Right.
And promoting these programs in colleges and universities, I think, is very important, that we, as women who are interested in women's issues, that we should be supporting more of these programs in our universities and pushing women into politics. Not pushing them, but helping them.
encouraging.
on that road.
Supporting women who want to vote.
That's right. That's right. So.
Thank you.
Well, to me, that's like another way that women get silent. Or that's just that's not.
Oh, you didn't get one?
That's why, like, and this is like my.
Absolutely.
I mean, like, I